Hey everyone, DarkDragoon here with episode 15 of my FTB Modpack Let's Play. You guys can see we are in the Nether today, and you might be scratching your head as to why. Well, the simple answer is we could use some upgrades to our IC2 stuff, particularly our power generation and our machines, so we can move forward and get something put together where we can grind up our cobblestone into sand for our peat bogs. And I figured, kill more than two birds with one stone, because we're ultimately going to need more IC2 power anyway for a lot of stuff going forward. So yeah, so I'm here in the Nether looking for a good spot to bridge myself out over the lava, because we're going to set up some geothermal power, and to do that we're going to use the nigh infinite lava in the Nether. Unfortunately, our spawn wasn't the greatest in terms of being in a really convenient spot for building out over the lava, so we'll probably have to sort of build our way down there, and we'll just have to make do. We'll have to just go down there and see what we can do here. So let me just build my way down this sheer cliff face, and as soon as I get myself set up over that lava over there, I think I'm aiming for right over there, I'll be back. Alright, I'm back, and after sort of getting something built up in the Nether and being accosted by all sorts of things, I'm sorry to say that I think I changed my mind about exactly what I want to do here. At first I was going to make macerators, and obviously I needed IC2 power for that, and yeah, it was going to be really complicated, but I decided instead I really haven't used thermal expansion too much, and I want to use that more, so we're going to do that. We're going to probably make a bunch of pulverizers and some powered furnaces instead. Which is cool because we already have the infrastructure in place to provide power for that stuff, as opposed to IC2, which will need some work, and I kind of want to get this sorting thing worked out. So yeah, so why don't we go ahead and make probably, I'm thinking 4 of these, mostly because I recognize that we're going to have a lot of different ores and stuff, and I'm actually going to see if the IC2 hoppers will work on these. I don't really see why they wouldn't, but we're going to find out. And so yeah, so let's go ahead and get started crafting up these. You can see we need quite a bit of stuff, so I'm going to go over here, grab our flint. Don't have too much of that, but hopefully we'll have enough for what we want to do. Hopefully you guys are pretty familiar with this recipe so far. This is the... I'll let you figure it out. I think you guys know. There we go. Couple machine frames. We're probably going to need a couple more. I want to also do powered furnaces down there. Let's see. We haven't made one of these yet, so it looks like it's going to need bricks, which we do have a little bit of. So why don't we go 4 of those as well? We have plenty of materials for all this, so not too worried about that. Our trip into the dense ores world really sort of helped put us ahead of where we needed to be. Let me go ahead and grab the bricks. I want to say construction materials. Yes, plenty of those. And we should have enough redstone. Let's see, was there anything else crazy we needed that we can make? Let's take a look at the pulverizer just to be sure we have everything. And flint and copper, and we have that. We need wood, and I think that's the last bit we need, so there we go. So let's see, 4 pistons. I've never really done a system like this before. I've done plenty of IC2 based ones, and I'm pretty sure the concept should be about the same, but yeah. Let's see, 4 of these redstone reception coils. I can't remember if the powered furnace wants that as well, or if it... I cannot type apparently today. Yeah, so 4 more of those. Using up a lot of our gold. Hopefully once we get the system set up, it'll be able to manage all the stuff our quarry is bringing in, and that'll help. We're also going to have to make ourselves some more of these redstone energy conduits at some point down the road, but that can wait. It's not too important right this second. So, I believe that was copper. I honestly thought I had some copper on me. I think because I had some cooking over here, and I forgot to pull it out. So let's try that again, shall we? 4 of you. There we go. That is a mishmash of the 2 recipes I'm trying to make, isn't it? Let's try it with redstone, please. There we go, powered furnaces. And then the pulverizer. There we go. That wants the pistons. There we go. Couple pulverizers. Cool. So if you guys can remember how to make these, we're going to need some hardened glass and some electrum. I heard an enderman. That was actually the main reason why I decided to wait on the lava situation, because what I really want to do is I want to do a different sort of way to get lava back here. But really to do that I need lots of ender pearls, which means finding some kind of enderman somewhere. And that's been kind of difficult for me. And it's also going to require some kind of either red power or logistics to really work right. So there we go. And we're going to have to use our system here to get us some more of this liquid redstone, which we haven't done in a while. So there we go. It should be going. I'm just going to toss those in there, and we're going to keep working while that's running. So let's head back downstairs. Actually, let's make a couple hoppers just to be safe. I honestly can't remember how to make them. Let's take a look. It's been quite a while since I made hoppers. Hopper. Okay, more complicated than I thought, but that's okay. We should have the materials for that. Gonna need more wood than that, though. Hello, Mr. Spider. And we don't appear to have much more wood, so let's just make as many as we can for now, and then I'll make the rest of them off screen, and then we'll deal with that later. So we'll make 2. That should be fine for now. And then a couple gears. There we go. I should have known it'd be more complicated than that. It seemed far too simple for what a hopper does. There we go. Just a couple hoppers. I don't think we're going to need too many. I mean, our system should be able to manage. These thermal expansion machines run pretty quick, which is really cool. What I'm thinking is we want to give us enough space so we can use our assembly table here. So why don't we give it 3, and then we'll start our machines here. So let's see exactly how we want to do this. I'm thinking something like this. So it's going that way. And then, we could actually probably do a lot more with our furnaces because of the way that these inputs work. Yeah, that could be an interesting little thing. We might play around with that here in a little while, but yeah. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to set up a system to move all of this stuff. Obviously this chest is not going to be here, and it's likely that this pipe will just feed directly under either under the floor or through the ceiling. I'm thinking under the floor, to be honest. Now we're still going to have to figure out how we're going to get our energy conduits to these machines, and so putting them like that may not be the best of plans. give me a second to think this through, and I'll be back. Alright, we're back. I decided to go ahead and make another pulverizer after doing some thinking. And I also decided to make another little machine because in our world we've got wooden tendrils, so our quarry is definitely pulling up some wood. So why not go ahead and make a sawmill? That way it can process all that wood into lots and lots of planks for us. Now the cool thing about the sawmill is you could manually just turn your wooden logs into planks, but the sawmill will actually give you 6 planks instead of 4. So I think it's a little worth it. So yeah, it's not too difficult, pretty much the same sort of setup that we've been doing with all these other machines. So I'm just going to make make our machine block here, machine frame, and then I believe it was wood on the sides with an axe. We can probably manage that. Let's see here. Need a couple sticks. Get ourselves an axe. There we go. And that should be everything we need. So that there, bit of copper, and some wood. There we go. Sawmill. Yeah, I definitely took a few minutes just to sort of think about this and sort of think it through, and I decided that, well, while these, machines here should be able to manage our ores well enough, we probably want a couple separate machines just for pulverizing and that sort of thing. So obviously we can change the orientation on these inputs and outputs as we need, but right now I think this is basically going to do what we need it to do. Now we really just need to set up the sorting part of the system, and I'm just going to pull out some of this stuff manually just to make sure that everything's working properly. I thought we had a bit of copper sitting somewhere, but I might be wrong. So yeah, let's check this out. I think what we're going to do, I don't think I meant to put that there. I'm going to have to, I'll do this off camera, but I'll move all this stuff down a block. But so yeah, so basically we're probably going to send at least some cobblestone. We're probably not going to send all of our cobblestone over here, but at least some of it into this pulverizer to get turned into sand, and then we can pull it out and send it along its way. This stuff also might get moved down, just so you guys know, because I definitely want to be able to send the sand that way, and it might be easier just to have the machine over there. But this is mostly just for testing purposes and making sure it's all working. I also want to get this hooked up to this cobblestone structure pipe, so these machines will turn on our steam boiler to get some more power into our energy storage cell. You can see all of the wood is coming over here into the pulverizer at the moment. Again, we're not likely to have that be the case for long, but you can see it also produces sawdust. So yeah, so that's working. I can adjust like I said, I'll adjust the inputs and outputs later, but I mostly just wanted to make sure that this was working the way we intended it to work. You see we are getting sand, which is good because we definitely need it. So yeah, so let me pop into the other world, into our quarry age, and take a look at what's going on there, make sure everything's moving along. I'm a little worried about this buffer here. It seems like it's having some troubles keeping up with sort of what we're doing. Again, well, no, that seems fine. Let's head over there and see what's going on. They must have just left, unless something very odd has happened. Well, there's our chest cart. Where is our tank cart? There it is. We must just barely be missing it. Now, I'm noticing this one tank cart is having problems keeping enough steam in here. I might have to set up another one to have 2 carts going. I don't know. I'll try to figure that out. later. If I do, I'll probably do it off camera and just let you guys know that I added another line. I don't think you guys necessarily need to watch me put together another one of these, but yeah, I think it might have to happen because as you can see, this is having some problems just keeping up. Part of the trick is that these unloaders and loaders don't load or unload particularly quickly, so it can be a little bit of a problem. Okay, I guess it's waiting until it's full. Okay, that's interesting. Apparently the sawmill will turn all kinds of wood into oak planks. That's okay. Or, you know what, I bet you the types of wood we're getting from yeah, those are oak. Never mind. It should be fine. Alright, so let's go back downstairs and figure out. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera, clean out my inventory as it's full of a bunch of stuff we don't really need. And I'm going to grab the stuff we need to be able to make pipes on the fly because we're going to need to make a lot of them. So I want to be able to do that while I'm recording what I'm doing. So I'll be back. Alright, we're back. You can see I ended up leaving these machines on this side the way they were, but I definitely shunted our pulverizers down to this side. Again, that's just to make it a little easier. This is going to be pretty crazy piping, mostly because, again, Buildcraft pipes are really useful, but they're not so great for the sorting. Unfortunately, they're all we have at the moment, so that's what we're going to have to use. So that's why I grabbed pretty much all my pipes I had made, and I've got plenty of materials here to make some more. We're going to need quite a few of these diamond pipes. So yeah. So let me get a line here working. Obviously we're having some... I'm not sure how we're going to deal with this, but I went ahead and also grabbed one of every ore, pretty much one of everything I can think of that we might get out of our system. That way we can stick them in our diamond pipes, and yeah. So, give me a second here. I'm being bothered by a cat and it's distracting me. Okay, that's been dealt with, so let's get this thing going. So I think what we'll do is I kind of want to run it as close to the ceiling as I can because I think the outputs are all going to be in the floor. So let's basically just run a pipe off this way. We'll dig our way through the wall. There we go. It shouldn't interfere with that because any IC2 system will come into here, so that should be fine. So we'll just run this pipe out like so. This is where we get to the fun part, the part where the ceiling becomes a mess of various pipes. So let's put our first diamond pipe here, which means we're going to have a couple different lines coming off of it. Now we're probably going to alternate stone and cobble, that way we can sort of run things sort of close to each other, but they won't intersect with one another. So we'll do that, and then we'll have, honestly don't know exactly what's going where yet. I'm sort of just doing this as I go, and then we can go that there. It's interesting how in this texture pack the stone pipes and the cobblestone pipes look pretty much the same. It's kind of not good. I kind of wish that it was a little different, but yeah. So let's run, you know, it makes a certain amount of sense to me to have the cobble going down the cobblestone route. So let's have regular stone pipes coming into our hoppers, because this is where we're going to want our ore to go. And that's why we have a couple here, because I know it's a little bit tricky. These machines run pretty quick, but yeah, I mean, might not be perfect, you know. So yeah, we'll just basically run a line, probably like this. This should work out for us. Okay. And what we can probably do here is probably split our ore, that way only certain ores are going into certain machines. It's worth doing, I think. Okay. Alright, so why don't we go ahead and set this diamond pipe up right here. Well, actually, let's go ahead and run this other line, because the reason for me doing this is that way I can go ahead and just get it out of the way. Thankfully, since this is a cobble pipe, we can be a little creative with how we're running it. But we don't want to attach to this diamond pipe unless we could attach to the diamond pipe, so long as we make sure that those lines only will handle cobblestone. I think that's a good idea. So just so I don't forget to do it, I'll go ahead and do it. There we go. I can't remember if the diamond pipe actually eats up the object you're putting into it, but yeah. So let's just make sure that blue is reserved just for cobble, as that's where it's coming through that line, and red is reserved just for cobble. That way, once, you know, obviously cobble's coming down this line, it'll go straight through the diamond pipe. It's basically just acting as an intersection. And I know I could probably be running cobble through the top line if I'm going to do this, but the main reason why I'm not is I'm honestly not sure how many slots I'm going to need for our ore. And so I'd rather just make sure that we have plenty to spare. So now we can just run over here. And should just be able to go straight down. I'm gonna basically just use one pulverizer for creating sand, because I really don't think we're gonna need much more than that. But I did want to have an extra pulverizer here in case I came across something that needed to be pulverized but not cooked. And I think monazite might be one such thing, and so that's something we can consider maybe also running through the cobble line, because it's definitely going to have enough room. Yeah, let's do that. I'm pretty sure monazite just gets pulverized. Let's double check. This is, of course, from MFFS. I have such a hard time saying that. Okay, maybe not. I thought you could. Let's go upstairs and check to see if you can actually toss it in a macerator. I thought you could, and I was pretty sure you get more out of it, but you might just not be able to pulverize it. Okay, you can macerate monazite, so that will probably have to wait and just come down as a separate line. So, okay, so we don't have to do that. Like I said, if there's anything else we need to... I mean, we can go ahead and put our diamond pipe in here, and then if there's anything that needs to go that way, we can definitely have it go that way. So, at the moment, the way it's set up, obviously this diamond pipe's not necessary, but it, like I said, we can use it for later. And actually, we can probably have wood going down this line too. That's not a bad idea. So let's move this. That there. That way we can just send wood down this red line into our sawmill. Cool. So let's go ahead and set up some of the diamond pipes we've got. Don't know if we have any. Yep, there we go. Wasn't sure if we had any wood in here, and we still have some cobble on us, so yeah, so that's not what we wanted to do. So yellow is going to be for our cobble, and red's going to be for our wood. So at this point, basically what's happening, I want to make sure that wood also knows to go down these routes. So basically, as stuff pumps out of our system, cobble will go straight down the cobble line, thanks to the black path, which we can set up, and we'll also want wood to go down that way. So cobble will enter the blue line, it'll go down the black line, which will run down this cobblestone, it'll go through this intersection, and then it'll go into this system where cobble will go down yellow and into the pulverizer, and wood will go down red and into the sawmill. And like I said, when we figure out what we want to send to the this pulverizer, we can. And we also have it set up so that we can put different kind of ores into these systems. So let's go ahead and do that as well. Make some room here. Yeah. We're gonna have to, probably what we're gonna have to do is for everything else that's sort of junk, like dirt and gravel, I was thinking of just setting up barrels to hold all that stuff. Obviously there's a lot of it, so, but there is also a lot of ore to deal with, so I just really need one of each. We don't have any gold ore on us, and that's a little bit of a problem, but we can work that out later. And obviously you can see there's a bunch of other stuff we're going to have to send somewhere. It's not the easiest thing to do, like I said, with buildcraft pipes, but it will work. So let's send a couple different types of ore. Let's split them up fairly evenly. We'll do our basic copper, tin, iron down the green path, which will send it here, and then got a copper, tin, iron, and then our silver and our lead and our gold. Obviously once we get gold, we'll go down the yellow path into this pulverizer, and we should be able to set it up so that they'll automatically move into, yep, they will automatically move into our powered furnace. And I'm going to turn off our output on that side, because obviously we don't want it to output on that side. We might have actually no, we shouldn't have any issue because we don't really need to run pipes through the top. So we can turn that off on our powered furnace. We won't have any problems with pipes having to come out of the top or anything, because they'll just move directly into the furnace. The only thing we're going to have to figure out after that is where this stuff's going to go. Probably out the bottom. But yeah. So, with this set up, why don't we go ahead and, at the moment, everything else is pretty much free to go wherever it wants. And I think now what I'm going to do is we need to set up here our ores going down the red path. And again, when we get gold, that will go that way. So at the moment, as stuff comes into the system, I'm going to knock that pipe off because it doesn't need to really be there anymore. Stuff comes into the system, blue is open, so everything will come into this pipe. This is pretty much our first branching pipe. All our ores will go down red into this system, and then since white is open, everything should go down white, and it gets split up into its various places to go. So cool. Yeah, you see, if I probably would have had room to put the cobble and stuff, but I like this. It definitely helps me sort of keep it organized, having certain things going down different pipes. I think it's probably for the best. So, I'd like to test this system out. So, why don't we, obviously we're not going to probably finish this whole thing today, but you guys can hopefully go ahead and test it out, and you guys will hopefully see sort of how it's going to work in theory. I'm going to have to dig down here. We have a hard time getting to this. Once the system is set up, we won't really need to get to this, but so okay. Can't put it directly in there. I think what I have to do is, let me just make a chest here, basically an input chest for it. Need a little bit of wood. I don't have room to do it in that pocket crafting table. Okay. That should let us at least test the system out. This won't stay here, but it should start pulling directly into here. Or not. This is just going to be pesky, isn't it? Okay, I have an idea. We can make ourselves our own custom minecart just for the purposes of testing. And since we already have the chest, it's not too big a deal. Here's our minecart. Okay, I'm just going to stick it there so we can put this stuff here. And we also want to put a bit of cobble and an oak plank. That way we've got everything that we've got set up so far is accounted for. So everything went into the buffer. It's getting pumped out. Let's run downstairs real quick. I'll also set this up with gold pipes later on. That way things will move through the system fast. But like I said, right now we kind of want it to go slow so we can just watch it. So there you guys can see everything's entering into our pipe. Okay, and it should start dividing up. Okay, ores going down the red path like it should. Cobble and wood is going down the black path. And so we can watch this go through. Like I said, since we already set this up to go, it's basically acting as an intersection, which is cool. I believe the advanced pipes add-on, the additional pipes add-on rather, includes this sort of stuff, these intersection pipes, and that's worthwhile taking a look at if that gets added to the pack. Okay, it looks like everything got distributed properly. So this stuff should enter the hoppers, and because of the way the hoppers work, they're basically going to be able to make our machine handle. We're going to have to change the top input to blue. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I think our lead got accidentally shunted over too fast. Okay. Obviously we're going to have a yellow output on the pulverizer because there's always going to be a chance that it'll... Yeah, cool. And didn't set this up properly. This needs to be blue. It's good that we test it because then we know what we're doing. So yeah, I'm not going to need an output on here, so that's fine. Okay, so now that this is set up, it should work properly, and you guys can see how it's supposed to work. So yeah. So that done, basically the other thing we have to do is set up what we want to go down yellow and green. Probably going to be pipes to distribute, probably one to distribute things like dirt and gravel, things that don't really have a good place to go except into a hay barrel. And then probably another one, probably yellow for some of our other things that are valuable but obviously can't go into our pulverizers. So yeah, that's pretty good. I'm liking how that's set up, and like I said, it's not perfect. It'd be cool to have red power, but since we don't, we're making do, and the system does work. Like I said, I will replace some of these pipes with some gold ones. That way things will move through much quicker, and obviously we'll have to figure out the output part of this whole system. But for now, unfortunately, I think this is where we're going to have to call this episode. We should be nearing the 30-minute mark. But hopefully you guys enjoyed and are sort of seeing where I'm going with this, and I think it's going to work out pretty well. I'm not sure exactly if I want to keep our chests up where they have been. I mean, that's a pretty convenient spot for them to be, so I'm thinking maybe. And hopefully next episode we can finish up at least the we definitely have a lot of work to do, but hopefully we can finish up the input part, and maybe even get started on the output part. And that would be particularly good because our peat bogs are desperately needing some sand. So that said, like I said, this has been episode 15 of my FTB Modpack Let's Play. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Catch you later.